Hi, friends. Welcome back. It's your old pal Kat coming to you from St. Paul, Minnesota. It is August, and you have probably been wondering what has become of me. And the answer is Tour de Fleece.
He used to get hurt by all the girls. They try his world for just a season.
This episode is actually going to be the third video that I have recorded without editing or uploading anything, and that would explain why I just had to go back and look at the internet to tell me what was the last thing we talked about. When was the last thing we spoke to each other? And the answer was early June, and now it is like almost the end of summer is in sight. It's right there. There's I just made plans for the last 3 weeks of my child's summer, and I'm hoping that beach is the answer to most of those questions, but it'll depend on our weather, which as usual has been crazy. Yesterday it was like 60 degrees and gross because we lucky Twin Cityans are the repository of all of the smoke that is coming from the wildfires out west. Somehow the glacial basin that was formed when the 10,000 lakes were formed seems to be a great place for smoke to settle. The other day I walked out of my house, and not only was the sky white and smoggy, but it smelled like fresh fire. Like I was looking around just to see if one of my neighbors was burning something. It was that pungent. That's not how it's supposed to go in the summertime. I have personally a lot of trouble with the gray ceiling that inserts itself for most of the Minnesota winter. It's one of the reasons why going on vacation in winter can be so rejuvenating, is just to see the sky and it not be negative 4 bajillion degrees. But this summer, it's almost like winter has never left us. The sun is out occasionally, but of course it's always on like days when I have to sleep after work. And so I'll see it for an hour or two, but not the joyous, 20 hours that I could see it if I just worked a different shift. But that's neither here nor there. So what am I here to talk to you about today? Well, I wanted to give you an update on what's been happening with Tour de Fleece. I think we're finished, sort of. I mean, you can see I've got some plying to do. Those are all single plies, and I want them to all come together to be a combo spin. I'll bring them in closer. I've got no finished objects that we hadn't previously discussed because they were yarn. Did you see this one? I think I showed this to you in the last video. I'm not sure if I'm going to put these all together or not, but I put them all in reach. I will remind you. This is all the yarn that I spun in Tour de Fleece Tour de France excuse me. This one is the most special of the group. This is just the leftovers. No offense to you, yarn. It's not your fault that I lost Bob and Chicken. You see this fun stripe of blue? I had to cable ply. I had way more of this one, which means it's probably the thinnest of the 3 plies. I took 3 100-gram braids of pre-dyed roving and spun it all together to make this beautiful combination spin in a very excellent blue and brown and white and gray sort of situation. And I realized that one of the skeins that I dyed or spun in last year's Tour de Fleece is also a lot of blue. In fact, uses some of one of these, I think, or something very similar. It has a little bit of green in it because it was part of that green spin. But at the end, I was running out of everything else and just threw blue at it. And I think that will go with this beautifully. And that might get me to a whole sweater quantity, which is the mission. This is just messing about with the wool that I have processed myself. Look how fluffy and gorgeous it is. And I need to make a whole sweater quantity of this, or check my stash to see if other things that I have would go along with this. This guy's just a 2-ply. It's a Merino Katadhin crossed sheep, which is why sometimes there is Kemp. Have I shown you the Kemps? Right here. Yes, I'm wearing a ring. No, I didn't get married. And then this one, I had way too much of. This is more of the same sorts of hand processed by me fleece. The bright blue was the stuff that I dyed with Birdie. Remember that? And I had way more of that than I had of the blue. And so I decided to do art yarn, wacky coils, to try and even things out a bit. And I have no idea how this will knit up, but I think it's going to be fun. I think it'll have to be not too next to skin. I was thinking like a cowl. Because then even if I do it in like a pretty basic sort of stockinette stitch so it can show off the fun yarn, it'll be warm. Oops. Sorry. I hit the mic. And then this one is that Bicolor Shetland. I swear I told you guys all this before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. And then I plied it. I ended up spinning it all onto one bobbin. I had two 2-ounce braids, each with one chunk of white and one chunk of brown. And I ended up, sometimes my inertia is not that I stop doing things, but that I just keep going doing the exact same thing when I had meant to stop halfway through and do something different for the other half. That's sort of the deal with all of these too. Every single one of these, I was like, I should really do a fun fractal or something, and then just spun the whole thing onto a single bobbin, and there goes that idea. So the same sort of thing happened here, but then when I plied it originally, it was like the last thing I did at the end of Tour de France for the men, which I actually watched this year. So I was watching and spinning, and you'll see this is gonna, I took pictures, I took little snippets of video occasionally, but I actually watched the Tour de France and the Tour de France Femme this year for the most part. On days when I couldn't because of work or other obligations, I just watched the highlights. On YouTube, there's always an extended highlights. I mean, there's probably an even shorter one too, but I usually watch the extended one because it's still only 20 or 30 minutes. But I cable plied this, and then I went to put it on the Nitty Knotty to get it into this format, and discovered that I had plied it in the same direction that I had, like my plies were spun, and then I spun even more in that same direction, which if you're not a spinner and this is all nonsense to you, I'm sorry. But basically the way you make yarn most of the time is you spin it one direction, and then when you're putting two of them together, you spin it back the other way. And I didn't do that. I just kept spinning it all in the same direction until it was like awful curly cues and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And then I was looking at it and I went, oh no, I know what I did. So I spent my whole first day of Tour de France Femme undoing my mistake from Tour de France Homme. But I think I fixed it. Since it was a cable ply, it seems to have behaved itself for the most part. I'm still a little concerned that I then overcompensated in the other direction. We'll find out. But look how cookies and cream and delicious this is. And it's really soft. It's Shetland. It's all Shetland wool. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it is delightful, squishy, and wonderful. And then I decided blue and brown seem to be the theme colors for the men. And so for the women, the thing that I've been just dreaming of, and I don't know if it's like, okay. I don't know if it's like the Pantone color of the year, and I'm not usually aware of those things or what, but I've been obsessing with like purple. And I had a little bit of floof that was purple. Did I move it? Oh, it's all right. Is there any of it left? Hang on, rustling noises. Do I have any? Oh, I think I used it all. Never mind. Here. No, spoiler. I'll show you in a minute. But purple. I have been thinking a lot about purple. In part, I think because oh my God, I'm going to jump the track so many times. Let me just say, so I had a whole bunch of Hello Yarn, again, braids. They were never actually braided up. They were just like shoved into a bag, but braids of hand-dyed yarn from Hello Yarn from when I was a member of their subscription thing. I think it was 2022 and maybe a little bit of 2023. And I have all these floofs. And so I spun nonstop purple. Okay, here. One. This is the one I just finished today. So this is Bright Spot, January of 2023. Limited edition American wool blend. I'm afraid that this one will not go with the rest of them because this brown is such a cool color. But then, no, it doesn't look like. I don't know. What do you think? I have all the bags, but that doesn't mean I can remember all of their names. Where did I put them? Is this it? No. Oh, that was scary. This one's got so many good, like peachy, plummy colors. A little bit of very light purple, so that'll mix together. And this one has some blue, some brown, some white, some orange, and some purple. This one was like a club colorway. If you were on the Flannels and Starlight Discord Tour de Fleece spinning camp last year. I don't know if you guys heard about this. This year it wasn't a thing. They just had too much other stuff going on to run it. But again, I believe her name is Andrea. The dyer from Hello Yarn offered to do like a special order. And I got the one that is targi and bamboo, if I remember correctly, which is something I've spun. That combo of hers I've spun before and I really enjoyed. And it was called like Campfire Starlight or something like that. Anyway, one of them limited edition American wool blend top. Sure, okay. One of them targi and bamboo. One of them more merino. I think it was Falkland merino this time. This one I thought was going to have to be left out because too much orange and the green just comes out of nowhere. But actually, the purples are so good. I just don't care. I'm going to look at the purple and orange and brown situation. It's all too similar not to just go for it. It's going to be muddy. That's the only issue, is it might be really muddy. So you'll notice I have 5 and I want to combo spin them. I have a 6th bobbin somewhere and I cannot find it. I was poking around. The problem with having a craft corner is that stuff gets rearranged a lot. It doesn't have a specific place to live because I just don't have enough space. And sometimes I want to look at things and other times I don't. I have all these baskets of weird supplies that I tuck away places. And then later I'm like, oh, is it in that basket? No. I thought it was, I've got one. Look, I've got a basket up there. I could have sworn it was up there. See? But no. Anyway, can't find my 6th bobbin, which probably means it's got something interesting on it somewhere. Or it's right in front of my nose. It happened to me yesterday in the fridge. Right in front. Is there anything? Can you find it? Yeah, it's right in front of your face. So I'm missing my 6th bobbin, which means I can't spin it unless I do the thing that some other folks on the internet have talked about and transfer those onto weaving bobbins so that I can then ply them a little bits at a time. And I'm thinking about trying that. I just don't have very many of these. I have 6. I have 6 weaving bobbins, which I don't think will. Maybe I can get 1 of those off or 2, but I don't think I can get 3. And I don't have enough of these. And the point of breaking them up into smaller bits would be to make it a more cohesive combination. And I think I'm only planning to do a 2-ply. So then I wonder if I should just make 3 separate combo spins. This is where I get stalled out. And to make it worse, the other thing I was thinking is that could be one side. That could be one side of the ply. And then the thing that I suddenly started obsessing with this week, this could be the other ply. I started making Rolags. If you're not familiar with Rolags, they are long tubes of wool that have, and for me, it became like an obsession very quickly. See, here's the purple. That was going to be our spoiler. This sort of almost neon light purple situation. Oh, obsessed. But then what was in those things over there? Oranges and yellows and a little bit of blue and a lot of brown. And I had all those and I added some white because there was some white. The problem will be, I don't know if I can spin Rolags as thick as I was spinning that stuff. I'm actually managing to spin that thicker than my usual. And oh my gosh, this box is full. Like there's nothing else. Like there's nothing stashed at the bottom of this. This is just Rolex. There are a couple of them at the bottom that really don't match, but and then the question becomes like, I thought about setting them out on my coffee table into like concentric circles, but like some of them I think I might want to keep out, like this guy, this just white and purple and pink, and then I still have all of these. I might keep that for something a little bit separate, because yes, those have white and purple and pink, but they are darker. This is kind of like, this has the potential to be a really juicy sort of pastel. That peachy color. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so some of them I think I might set aside for not use in that. And then some of them I just went straight. Oh, hang on. Oh, I'm going to break it. I should not have piled them in like that, because then you can't pull them out. Some of them are just like Starry Night. There's no purple. It's just blue and yellow and white. And actually, I think it's probably the better part of Valor most of the time to do these sort of fewer colors, because it has less chance of getting muddy. But I had this wacky bat. Here's some of what's left of it. I have been pulling this apart and trying to turn it into something that doesn't just look like vomit. And getting stuff like this, which, yeah, still has some sparkle, still a little bit crazy. Sort of looks like a Vikings fan and a Harlequin from Mardi Gras had a baby. And a little bit of Stellina, but not quite as crazy. Not this is too much even for me. Also, this brown was this right here, this like taupe. This was hiding right in the smack dab in the center of it all, and I was like, where'd that come from? What was that? Just to add one more type of sheep to the very long list of things that were involved in this bat? Why? That was unnecessary. This brown was my own stuff. That was something else. That wasn't in there. It looks a little bit less like vomit. Oh, look at, like here. See? And some of this stuff, it'll just completely separate. It was not incorporated at all. This is just some sort of green. I don't know. Probably. Sniffing it's going to tell me what it is. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, are you not into spinning? Great. I'm so glad we're talking about this ad nauseum. And then the BFL project continues. I have not done very much. Like this cop right here is about all that's happened, and transferring a giant cop down onto the arms. And then you'll notice that guy up there and that guy down there. Ooh, that way. This is where I'm plying. That is a leftover single ply that needs to get plied up so it can be added to this at some point, which would be fine. Or I think I might have another single ply somewhere else. Anyway. That is what I have been doing for all of July and part of August. I I have never attempted vlogging, and here's why. Because I've been taking videos and taking pictures and doing the thing and then never following through on the editing and uploading bit. And so here we are a whole month later, and I have so much content I don't even know what to do with it, and I'm going to have to go back and figure it out. And meanwhile, I wanted you to see the trio of chickens together. These are the emotional support chickens that I knitted. This is Henrietta, this is Camilla, and that's Augusta. And I only named Camilla. So I'm the least creative as I named a chicken after Gonzo's girlfriend. But I thought you should see them all together, because so often on the Muppets, there were 3 of these lovely ladies together, like the backup singers. Pretty good, huh? I like them. I like them enough I made 3. I don't know if I've ever made a thing 3 times besides hats. Not that I haven't made 3 sweaters, but I've never made 3 of the same sweater. Okay, let's see. Those were all of my things that are in progress. My finished object of yarn, my in progress spinning. I have one other item that is in progress, and that is this pair of socks that is taking exponentially longer than it should. Sophia, spoiler alert. Look away if you don't want to see it yet. I grabbed a free pattern off of Ravelry for sport weight socks. Sophia asked for thicker socks. And the level of procrastination that I am capable of, this embodies it in every direction. I knew I wanted to make a pair of socks on thicker yarn and thicker needles than I normally would use. Should go faster and be easier. Should have been done so quickly. But first, I obsessed about what pattern to use. And second, I obsessed about what yarn to use. And third, I hate this particular heel turn. So every time I get to one, I hesitate forever. And then I... oh my God. Okay, I'm finally past this heel turn. Now I'm on the decreasing back down to regular old sock width, and then finishing, and then a toe. The fun thing about this pattern is that it is anatomical toes. See how it's a little bit over to this side, not perfectly rounded. So the other one, boop, will be for the other side, as long as I pay attention. This is the left foot. I'm keeping the marker on the inside for now. It's my Les Garçons progress keeper. So cute. So I am decreasing back down to foot narrow, and then we'll be done. Ironically, there's so much yarn left. I might try another pattern. And I have another ball of this. I don't know if I would. Okay. This is not my favorite color scheme. I like loud, but this, I don't know. Individually, I like all of these colors. Combined, I really hope Sophia loves this combination more than me, and then they will have gone to the right person. That is my hope. And if not, well, I think she knows how to dye. Just over dye it all. Green would be great, probably. I don't know. That's the only knitting I've been working on. Oh yeah, speaking of, what am I wearing? I'm wearing my Breeze Racerback tank for the first time all summer because I have been living in dresses and pajamas. I washed it finally. I wore it and then I washed it. I washed it in cold water in the washing machine. I sure did. Danger was bad. And then I dried it flat. I have a thing to just hang stuff on. And I got a brand new dehumidifier, so it works really well. So what am I wearing? My Breeze Racerback tank. And the yarn has softened up a little bit with washing. It does not seem to have shrunk appreciably. I am still really enjoying it. I wore the wrong bra today. That's okay. What else did I want to tell you about? I did acquire something yesterday. Okay, so all of June, I was taking a month off from, wasn't it June? I think it was June. Sometime, I'm pretty sure it was June, I said that I was not going to buy anything, and I didn't. Not a single pattern, not a single bit of fluff, not a single ball of yarn, nothing. Oh, in July, I did buy a book. I did buy a Barbara Walker book. But that's it. Pretty good, right? I didn't buy any yarn. I didn't buy any floof. I didn't buy any patterns. Well, August has come, and while I was gone, I should probably tell you, I think I already told you in one of my 2 previous videos that haven't been uploaded yet, there was the threat of strike, and that threat has passed. But when I found out that there was the potential for strike, I picked up a ton, and I happened to pick up a couple of times during vacation, or not vacation, holiday pay. And so, because I did not have to completely fund my life for like a longer span of time, it significantly moved up my savings, and I was able to pay off my student loan, which was one of my goals for this year. I did it yesterday. Terrifying and wonderful. I didn't have that much left. I've been out of school for a while. I've been paying on it, pretty consistently. The joys of being a nurse, I was making too much money to even attempt with the income driven whatever. But I paid it off. And what did I do as a celebration? I went to the yarn store. I bought 2 patterns, and I finally, I'm going to buy a third one. I bought yarn for a third one that I don't own yet. And I finally bought the rest of the floof so that I can make the Minu. So I will have the fuzziest, most beautiful. Speaking of obsessing about light purple, I was really hoping, I went back to the store and I brought the yarn in hopes that I would be able to find that one of the other options for this was a very light purple, but the purple that they had was not light enough. It felt like it would overpower. Ugh. Oh, I just dropped it. It's running away. I thought it would overpower the delicacy of these neon pastels. But man, this purple right here, do you see it? Focus. Do you see how gorgeous and light purple? There was a pink, but it was too pink. I don't know if I'm that much of a pink, and that's not, I was about to say, I don't know if I'm that much of a pink girly. I'm not what's the word I want? I almost said neon. Nope. I do have lots of neon pink, and that is exactly my mission. And then I almost said neutral pink. That's not what I meant. I meant pastel. Pastel pink is not my vibe most of the time. That's probably what has stopped me on using that pastel-y pink that I have to make the t-shirt that the moonset tee that I've been talking about forever. And then my second option, the other thing, I would have used the white, but they didn't have any. So my choices were hampered. And the other thing is, they still have the same dye lot. So I now have 1,200 yards of this and 1,200 yards of this. And if that's not enough to make this sweater, it will be a bit cropped, which would be a shame. But whatever. Oh, it fits so nicely in my little bag. That was a gift from Marceline. Do. Oh, I love this strap so much. Spinny. That's the fun. Okay, that was one of my acquisitions. I had some secondhand Holstgarn Coast, which is their cotton wool blend, and I looked up using Ravelry. This is why it's so great to add your stash to Ravelry. I looked up exactly which colors I had at home because I could vaguely remember, but there were so many color options that I couldn't exactly remember just from looking. I was like, I know I have a light blue and a darker blue and a pink. Well, I looked those up, grabbed them off the shelf, and then held them up and failed miserably at finding a color that went with them until one of the lovely store assistants at the yarnery came over and helped me find this lovely sort of terracotta color. It's actually called rosewood. It is very similar, now that I'm looking at it, to the terracotta rosy kind of color that my mini mock neck is, but I'm going to buy the Tolsta tee, and I'm going to use those and make a stripy, 2 kinds of pink and 2 kinds of blue. Oh, look, I'm putting it right on the edge. You can't see. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I won't turn that way. Oh, so much shaking. I will put this is how they display it. I'm sorry. I will put this all into very good use to make myself a t-shirt with some fun stripes. That is my plan. I really gravitate towards the same colors over and over again. Terracotta pink and mint and blue and white. I was going to get a light gray. I was going to use the pink and blue and dark blue, like icy blue and dark blue, and get a light gray, but they didn't have it. It's too popular. And that made me feel like maybe I don't want that. And the other option was to get like a taupe, but this is way more my vibe. I was super attracted to this like salmon poppy sort of color. It's called Candy. I didn't get it, but I'm thinking about it. They don't just have this size, they also have cones of this stuff, and that is what I think I might get a cone of it. I love it so much. But I didn't. I'm going to be reasonable. So I got this. I got Floof. I'm going to get the Tulsa tee. I did buy one Andrea Mowry pattern for her birthday sale, which is the most circumspect I have been. That $5. I spent $5.22, and in light of my my attempt to take a break from her, I felt pretty good about it. I got the Comebackigan. I think that there's just, I went and I did a deep dive into Ravelry looking for other similar cardigans, and I really, really like this one. Even though I know I could figure it out. That's not the point. Sometimes the point is somebody else figured it out already. I can give her $5 for having figured it out. Jeez. And then the third thing I got is a woolen pine t-shirt with a really cute lace situation happening right down the middle. And I don't... My cat is chasing her tail. It's real cute. What? Woolen pine t-shirt. Very cute. Forgot the name of it. I kept it under $100, guys. My celebration spending. These bad boys are like $7 a piece, and the floofs are like $8. Not 30. And I made myself enough Rolags to spin until doomsday. And the thing you couldn't see is, hang on, the thing I was grabbing from, I have a laundry basket of more floof. There's my miniature, probably upside down, which is no wonder it was $20 on Amazon. I had 8 ounces of yellow Parendale. This, I don't think I was using that for anything. It just ended up in the pile, but that's like what's left. But I just sat in front of the TV and made Rolags while I watched Tour de France. The tour. And then I still want to do some more. This like cotton candy colors with some more white. I've been going through the white pretty fast. This is the second big bump. I had one that was Target and one that was Polworth. You still listening? I don't even know why I do this. 50 people is all that watched the last video. Depressing. Hi, I don't care. I'll talk to you anyway. Someday this will be in the annals of history. I'm never going to write my novel, and this will be what I end up with. My legacy. I swear there's something else I want to say. But no, I think that's it. Oh, there's a little bit more purpley stuff over there that I haven't spun yet. But again, I can't find my last... I'm going to have to take all this off of there. Or just start spinning. Maybe I should... But see, here's where that thing that I was talking about. I would like to just start spinning, like plying those using my electric eel wheel. She's right here. That's why I had to look at her. What's her name again? The blackbird. I would like to spin like some of one and then some of a different one and then some of a, and just kind of keep making it weird. I wonder if this would be a good opportunity to play with dice. Maybe, perhaps, probably not. I haven't done anything else for the bingo card, although if I finish Sophia's socks, then I will finally. And technically, the center square that was supposed to be a freebie said no DRK, but I did give myself an out for her birthday sale, and I only bought one thing. So I still feel pretty good about it, and I haven't cast anything on yet. It's a good color for me. That's the other thing, is that I might as well gravitate towards it. It's a good color for me. Better that than something that washes me out. Like, I've been thinking, I think I might need to blend this with something else entirely, or it. Look how close these are. This was out of the other one. This sort of, it's orangey, and this one is more golden rod. This one looks like it's going to make me sneeze. This one's got more of an orange vibe to it in person. Does it help if it's against the blue? No. What was I saying? Oh, the Parendale. I think I'm going to have to mix it up with some white or something. But Parendale's not very soft. It's not like super duper soft. So I was thinking that once I did some more wool picking the other day, and so once I washed that and card it, and well, dry it and card it, I could combine those. I could use the blending board and put them together in a way that might be very, very soothing, very pleasing, kind of cut the color of this. It's a little bit much. See if that does it for me. All right, that's more than enough. I am Minnesota goodbying, and you know I hate it when I catch myself doing that. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you're still here, thanks for coming back. I appreciate so much the few of you that stick with me. And since most of you know me, thanks. I love you. I'll see you later. Call me. Bye.